Good morning to everyone watching. Ronnie, in the meantime, has forgot one of the towels. Players usually have a wet towel and a dry towel.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Frame 9, Barry Hawkins to break.
It's Barry's turn to break off, and
Switch it
yeah,
off,
he did
please.
look a little bit nervous backstage there, but it's quite understandable. He needs a good session here.
Yes, Dennis, I think that goes without saying. I was just questioning the fact, a little bit of a hangover yesterday from that epic battle with Dominic Dale, and I was just a little bit concerned about Barry. He looked a little bit jaded. A strange thing to say, but maybe a good night's sleep and put that behind him, he'll come back. I mean, his pot success, 86%. I know he had a few little bit bad runs of the ball, but you just feel that he's got to start winning one of these sessions. Because when you fall 4 frames behind, as he has done, you can't be losing many more.
Ronnie's had a century break, and Barry's had a 96 almost at the century. Of course, he had the experience of the one-table situation last year when he lost in the final to Ronnie. So, but you do have to pace yourself, and really, when you get to the semi-final stages, you've got as many sort of sessions to play as you did to get there. So mentally, you've got to be well prepared. And well, there's nobody with more experience than Ronnie, going for his hat trick of world titles.
Look at that red that Ronnie missed. You can forgive him. First pot of the morning. His long pot success was higher than that 67%, but 67% is good.
Could you please make sure that phone's switched off?
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of phones going off this morning. And MC Rob Walker, before he brings the players out, keeps reminding people.
Well, Steve Peters is here this morning. He's been working with Ronnie for a few seasons now, and working with the Liverpool Football Club and also the England squad. So he certainly has worked wonders for Ronnie O'Sullivan, and his whole attitude. I mean, so he's got a secret, and it seems to work. Chance to take this pot on. He'll avoid the black if he makes the correct contact. Oh, he didn't get anywhere near the pot. Where's that red going to go? And is there a gap through to it if it does go over the pocket? It's not easy to pot from that position. I think he can get past the yellow.
Yeah, I think Ronnie, when he came out before, Ronnie likes a cup of hot water, and he forgot it, and Leo Scullion had just brought it into the arena. Well done, Leo. I'll give you a nice tip for that, you know. He's a generous boy. So didn't fancy the pot. I think the main reason he didn't fancy the pot, he didn't see a way he could control the cue ball and get on the colour. So just playing safe, keeping it tight early doors.
So it was a cup, not a towel. I thought they wouldn't make the mistake of leaving a wet and dry towel there. So yeah, we've seen Ronnie do this quite a few times, and I think on the cup it said, "Fancy a brew." What about you, Jevy? Fancy a brew?
Well, for me, you'd have to put a 2-bag in it to tempt me. But apparently it's very good for your digestion, isn't it? They say. And he always puts his hand around it as though he's a little bit cold, but it's certainly not cold in the Crucible Theatre. He's a good safety here. It's not a straightforward run back to the balk end, particularly down the right-hand side of the table. Well, he's trying the left-hand side. It's got to catch this red just right. Too thick. What's he left? Surely something.
Well, at first glance, JV, he's left absolutely nothing. That red's not very inviting into the left middle pocket. Covered everything into the right corner pocket, so he's had a bit of a result there. Not a lot to go at there. Sure, he wanted a thinner contact, and once he hit the jaws of the pocket, Ronnie would have thought, well, I've put him right in here, but he didn't. I mean, he nearly knocked that in. Has he covered it? I'm just wondering if he can get round the back of the two reds with a little swerve and a bit of side. He can't see it direct, but he might be able to just bend this, hit the cushion first, pot it. Now, where's the white going to go? It'll head over towards the reds. So he's not bothered about the white. Make sure you get the red and see what happens to the cue ball. He's playing a dead weight, and he's on the black if he gets this. Beautiful, needs to pull up. Well played. To play a dead weight was excellent.
Well, just that nicely. Got to score from these type of opportunities.
8.
Barry knows that. Just to make Ronnie aware that any mistake, and I'm going to punish you. But that is not going to help.
Barry Hawkins, 8.
Poor miss. Just catching that near jaw many times. The pocket isn't going to accept it.
Yeah, we've seen that type of shot last night with Neil Robertson. He missed it to the near jaw, and then the next time back at the table, he tried to play it off the other jaw, and he missed it off that as well. So it shows you how tight these pockets are.
Well, I can only assume that Ronnie can get through to this red to the left middle. He wouldn't take this long over a safety shot. And he did, and at the angle. Now is he on the black? I think he's found the perfect gap. Good shot.
I mean, the pot was good, but look where he's put the white. I mean, that's a perfect picture to show you that he had very little margin for error there, and what a chance he's given himself. It's just those two reds to the left of the black are a little awkward. If he could remove the one that's closest to white, that would really clear things. And he just nudged those two reds. I mean, he sees the shot so soon, Ronnie. And that one little cannon, he's got them exactly where he wants them.
9. Sixteen. 17.
Just that red immediately below the black is just a little bit awkward, so he's got to avoid the kiss on that. It's one of those reds and it has gone wrong, this. Well, let me put it this way, he's got pots
24.
on, but it's certainly not as played. And it was all because of that red just below the black, just stopping the natural angle of the cue ball. He's got this red to the left corner, he's using an extension on the rest and the cue. So, to take a good shot here to control this cue ball and finish nicely on the black. Don't think it's straightforward.
That's why he's coming around the table to have a look, because if he tries to just screw it in gently, the red to the right of the one that's behind the black is in the way. And to try and find a gap to get round for the blue, you'd have to go between the red on the cushion and the black. So there's a few obstacles in his way. So it's all about the cue ball here. Under the circumstances, he did well there. I'll just show you the cannon. Kept himself on the black, and one more little cannon, and he's perfect here. He can cannon the red just near the pink spot. I think he can hold for that. It might be a delicate one, but if he could hold and cannon that, he'd leave himself a choice of 3 reds. But is it a bit too thin for that? We'll find out shortly. That was about as best he could do there, and he's in an ideal position again.
Yeah, always remember when you're playing that shot that the slower the screw, the more chance you give for the backspin to take effect. If he'd have played that any harder, as Dennis said, he may not have got the cannon. But as per usual, Ronnie not missing a trick when he's in the balls. Didn't want to play for the red along the top cushion, and
40.
I was watching the match last night, and you and Willie were commentating, and I agree with Willie. When it was a two-table situation, the pockets
41.
seemed a little bit easier to me, but not now they've got to this one table. They look very sharp down the cushion, particularly when they're just off it. So Ronnie concentrating on leaving that red where it is. He's got a 40-point lead now. Just a couple of good positional shots away from thinking he's going to clinch the frame at this visit. It's not straightforward.
Yeah, I'm not sure which of the tables they've used. They would use one of the 2 tables for the semi-finals and finals, and you'd think the pockets would be the same, but of course you've got a brand new cloth on again, which in theory should make the pockets slightly easier to start off with until they have a few sessions played on them. Now this is not going to be straightforward unless the two reds are above the
49.
pink spot. If one of them goes, not a problem. He can stun down for that. And I think the left of the two reds will go in the corner. We'll find out the way he plays this shot. Yeah, no problem at all. There'll be plenty of room. So he's just 2 or 3 more pots away from
56.
securing this opening frame and extending his lead.
Yes, 48 ahead, 83 remaining. 3 reds. And that should see him past the
57.
winning line. Another excellent positional shot from Ronnie.
64.
He cues the ball like a dream. Quick glance at the scoreboard. What would be an ideal situation here? Pot this red, play for the pink in the same pocket. If he leaves himself straight on the pink, those 2 reds to the left of the pink, no problem getting it on. I think that's what will be his plan. People say, how many shots ahead do you look? This is one of those occasions where you would look a couple of shots ahead. So you play for the pink.
65.
And if he's straight enough, which he looks to be, just stun the pink in, and you've got either of those 2 reds to the opposite corner. And after this pink, 1 more red required. Had his chance, as he had in most frames. Okay, the first session he'd been unlucky with a few bad contacts. But he wanted a good start, as Dennis referred to, and he's not going to get it.
71. 72.
Come up a little bit short.
79.
Give himself a chance for the century break, but with the way the reds are, very difficult. But he will be trying hard because he is closing in on Stephen Hendry's record. He's had 742 centuries, Ronnie. Yeah, I think Stephen's record's 775, if I'm not mistaken. Good effort, but he needs some sort of trick shot or a double to... Well, there's the ball. Wait, oh, hang on. Oh, not quite. The best possible start for the defending champion. He only needed 1 chance, and with that break of 83, he extends his lead. It's now 7-2.